All right, man. Episode 2. Cheers, my brother. Salud.
Salud. Thank you guys for joining us. Will and Berto here on episode number 2, Prolific Thoughts.
Prolific podcast.
God damn!
No. Yo. It's all good, man.
What's goody, man? Hi, welcome back. Nice to see you again.
I'm not tan or anything.
I know, but
I only went to the beach once.
these mics are catching dust, man.
They missed me.
Your boy Will is an international traveler, so you know we had to take a long commercial break.
Yeah.
Between our first and second episode.
Along with other technical difficulties.
Along with other technical difficulties that we're still having, but we getting there, my friends. We are getting there.
Yeah, man. Now I just, I had to go visit the family up north. Then take a little vacay, man. Your boy needed it.
That's good, man.
I watch people party every weekends. About time I had to take my time.
I'm getting there.
That's not wrong.
I'm getting there.
My dude's infatuated with this watch. I know it's brand new. I know it's brand new and you're trying to show it off. Like, yo, you guys, what does this do? Nah, bro.
Anyways.
Anywho.
How was your trip, man?
It was great, bro.
I already know, but how was your trip? On tape.
On tape? On tape, it was fucking great, man. It was a good trip. Had fun. Had a lot of, I don't have breakthroughs, but it was just like realizations I had about just like really enjoying life, as much as I can. I mean, with this whole pandemic and stuff like that, it's like being over there, for context, I was in Tulum, Mexico, just like every other thought.
Shout out to tequila.
Shout out to tequila, yeah, shout out to Mexican tequila, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That tequila is different.
What was the name of it? You remember the name of it?
Dude, I drank so many different ones. There was one, I have a picture of it, I don't want to take out my phone, but there was one that was like the shit, like the absolute shit. It was fire. And I literally drank like an absolute animal and did not wake up once with a hangover.
That's lit. At our age?
Exactly. I drink like that here, drinking like Jose Cuervo or something, I'm gonna have to be in the ER. I might have to go to the ER.
Tequila's so strong.
Nah, bro. It's not like, and even like Casamigos and stuff like that, and, I don't know, Don Julio or like Patron. I don't really care about Patron too much, but for the most part, man.
Patron is ass, man.
It's a brand.
I would drink it before so much, and when I started drinking Casamigos, and even Terramana, like the rock shit, I was like, this shit is not, and we drink dark liquor. It's usually either or. You either do light or dark. And I was like, man, this Patron is trash compared to like actual good tequila. You know what I mean? So shout out to tequila.
Do you like dark or light liquor? What's like your preference?
Dark.
Do you have any personality changes between the two?
Oh, so we're going straight into it. All right, let me take another sip.
Oh God, now he's thinking. First reaction, go.
1,000%. I'm another person on tequila. On Patron, you can shout out to my boy Adonis. Adonis knows firsthand. Adonis knows firsthand. Honestly, I didn't think that was a thing before. And I'll be like, yo, just shut up, like you're, the whole like, you're just talking shit. But I don't know, maybe it's just like the environment, the vibe. But I've had a couple bad trips on tequila. Like I just turned into another animal.
Like aggressively or?
Yeah, aggressive.
Or just like a.
Nah, aggressive. It's like how they have the saying of like, oh, when you drink Henny. Like,
yeah.
That happened with tequila, and it happened once. Happened twice. By the 4th time, I was already like, all right, this is a pattern. This is the Berto that comes out when I drink tequila. But it's always like in an environment of party. Like if we could sit here and we can have Casamigos here with some chinola, and I'll be cooler. But if we're out, well, back then, I'm not saying that. If we were out back then, like I would say from 2015 to like 2018.
Yikes.
Oh.
That's not that far.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, I enjoy tequila now, but back then when Adonis put me onto Patron, man, I caught a couple bad nights where I was just wilding out aggressively, aggressively in the sense of like I saw some shit that wasn't really there, or it's just like one of those like, yo, dude, look at me different, like, which is stupid. I know it's stupid, but I don't know why it's happened when I drink tequila. It never happens to me when I drink whiskey. I'm always like, wow, it.
Yeah, whiskey's definitely a vibe for me, but I don't know. Mine was always dark liquor. Like Henny, was 100% mine. I drink Henny and
ready to fight the world.
Not ready to fight. It was just low key, just being super fucking like want to be like super alpha male. I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up.
It's not cognac. It's not cognac.
Yeah, but that like Remy Martin, Mama Juana.
Mama Juana.
That's like liquid Viagra.
That's like the Viagra
yeah.
of aggressive. Not aggressive like we want to fight.
Yeah,
we gonna
like,
fight, but
if we gonna fight
in bed.
Vertically.
For those of you who don't know, Mama Juana is a Dominican drink. It's a mix of rum.
What is it considered though? Is it considered, because it's not considered.
It's rum and honey at the end of the day.
Well, it depends on how you make it. I make mine rum, red wine, honey, and like cinnamon extract, like cinnamon, the little sticks.
Yeah.
And what else do I do? So like, what would it be considered? It's like a concoction, I would assume. It's not like a.
But my thing is, you don't put red wine in it with the rum, or you do?
Yeah, that's what makes it like sweet, like the fermentation of it.
But all right, so the times that I've done it, I've fermented the shit in it, and the sticks and all that in it with the rum. I'm sorry, with the wine, the red wine.
Mm.
But you take it out when it's like good and it's like curado, what they call.
Well, like no, the way from what I've been told and research, because I recently got a bottle like in 2019, so it's been 2 years. It's been fermenting. But it's like you put the rum in there and everything. You put everything in like normal, leave it there for 3 days, for a week. Mm-hmm. And then it just soaks up the bark and all that stuff. It soaks it all up, and then you dump it out. Because it has like some of the like residue and shit from the bark. You dump it out, and then you re-add everything, and then you just leave it there. And the longer it like curates, the sweeter it is, and the fucking harder it hits you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe I know there's different ways of doing it. I know I curated with the red wine, and once it was ready, I took it out, just dumped a whole Brugal Añejo in there, half a bottle of honey, mixed it up, and just let it sit.
Hey.
Whatever works, man. At the end of the night,
someone's back saying blow out. Plain and simple.
Somebody's back is ain't cracked. It don't matter what way you put it.
Yo, that shit. Oh my god! I remember the first time I had it. I literally took a shot.
And it tastes great. I love it.
Yo, it's good. It's good, man. It's good. But I remember the first time I had it, I took a shot and my ears felt like someone just stuck iron to it. I was like, ooh, okay. My chest is getting hot. I was like, damn. The rest of the night, that night ended like a battle royale, hardcore match.
Oh shit! But yeah, man. So you came back from Mexico, man, and that's cool, man. It was an
amazing trip, man. I know a lot of people are taking advantage right now because there's like zero regulations over there, and I just wanted to go somewhere to be free. I didn't really want to be wearing my mask. Obviously COVID and all this shit, but I'm not gonna live my life like a caged animal. I just whatever. If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it may be irresponsible or immature. I don't know. I really don't care. It's just whatever, man. Whatever's gonna happen. My philosophy on life is just like, dude, whatever's gonna happen to me, it's already written in my path.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get COVID here, or I'm gonna get COVID over there, whichever. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen if it's gonna happen. So I was like, I was gonna go to Dominican Republic. My father was just recently there, so I was like, he told me about the curfews and stuff over there. I was like, I'm not doing that.
I heard it's trash. Like it's like 12 p.m. noon.
On the weekends, yeah.
I have a friend that just came back from there. She brought me a Henny White. Shout out to JoJo. Shout out to JoJo.
Why don't you tell me I need that?
She was there. She was there for like a month because she was visiting family. She said you could work remote. She was like, I'm working. I'm just here with my family. But she was like, yo, on the weekends when I'm off, I had to be in the house. Like you couldn't even be outside at 12 o'clock noon. So she was like, man, that shit was driving me crazy. So she came back. But I heard it's like really crazy over there. Like niggas getting locked up. Like,
yeah.
People getting
Not because my dad told me they have, it's almost like bounties. Like if the cops catch you in the street, like they get money for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out there like hunting, like rats, bro. Like
yanking people left
just
and right.
let's go. And
Hasta lo gato.
Yeah.
Misha, ven acá.
Yo, so it's like I wanted to go there. It's been like 6 years I haven't been back, but I was like, you know what, man? Let's just go to Tulum like everybody else and see what it's all about. And I'm glad, man. It was an amazing trip. It was really good. And I went with two of my business partners and one of our boys that we've known for a while. And it was just great chemistry, man. Great chemistry and just great vibes all around.
That's good, man. Everybody needs to disconnect, and it's funny that you say about just living your life and all that. It's true, man. At the end of the day, we really don't know nothing is promised tomorrow. Today actually is the anniversary of Kobe. 1 year gone exactly today, and then honestly, it's like just R.I.P. to him, R.I.P. to his daughter, and everybody else that was on the helicopter. But it's like we really wake up and we think like, oh, I'm just gonna get up, just go to work, go to the gym. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen, man. So I understand why you did it, because if you notice, we've been in quarantine or whatever, lockdown, whatever you want to call it at this point, since last March, right? Like we're in January, at the end of January. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be almost a year, and I'm me myself, I'm very like cautious of like who I'm surrounded by, and even though I'm in real estate, I'm seeing people. I'm always with my mask and all this stuff, but I got to a certain point myself that I'm like, man, everybody around me has gotten the shit of me. And I'm like trying to, boost my immune system and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, like, how do I really know, like, if I'm gonna get it or not? I might never get it. Mm-hmm. You might never get it. Mm-hmm. I might get it and it's nothing, or I might get it and it's everything and I pass. Mm-hmm. Like, how much more can we do, right?
Yeah. But I feel like if you're living in that fear, like, when am I gonna get it? When am I gonna get it? Oh, am I gonna get it? That's just gonna make your immune system, like your whole energy, everything's just gonna lower down, and you're just vulnerable to it almost, because you're lowering your frequency. You're gonna get yourself sick. All that stress and anxiety and all that shit. That's why I'm just like, whatever, man. Like, if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, and that's it. When and if, hopefully God forbid it doesn't happen, but if and when it happens, boom, okay, we'll see what happens then, man. And I'm not gonna live my life in fear, bro. It's just not healthy.
No, I feel you, man. I mean, honestly, I think everybody needs it. If you can do it, get away, go either travel or just disconnect, whatever way you want to disconnect. Obviously, right now, a lot of borders are closed, so Mexico right now is going crazy, as you.
No, they're cashing out.
Yeah.
They're cashing
but think about it. They're cashing out, but they're also trying to, replenish what they lost in 2020, because the first thing that went down was tourism. Yeah. You stopped flights and this shit was worldwide, man.
Yeah, so I'm sure within this whole thing, they're making, bro, there's so many people.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
Yeah.
But like you said, man, it's like, going to Kobe. I mean, he didn't think that he's gonna go on a helicopter and die that day. You know what I mean? So it's like, obviously you can't be on some wild shit where just living like a maniac. But it's like, you have to also, as morbid as it sounds, you also have to kind of have, the mindset of just like, some shit can happen anytime. You know what I mean? I can walk out this door and some shit happen. So I have to be able to appreciate my life, but also like live it up. In the sense of be appreciative. Not only just living up in the sense of partying or anything like that, but just being appreciative. I've always had like a kind of, to me it seems morbid. I don't know, maybe other people feel the same way. I'm not as fucking weird than I think I am, but I always think it's like, I'm grateful for everything because I can stand on my 2 feet. I can see through my eyes. I can hear. I can smell. I can taste. Like, my body works. Everything like that. It's like, all that shit can come to an end at any time. You know what I mean? Like, I can literally walk out this door and some maniac drunk driver just goes through through a fence and just hits me, and I can't walk for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've always been appreciative of everything, and now with this, if I can go on a trip and be able to experience something different, I'm gonna go on a trip. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to live my life as best as I can, but also, remaining humble and remaining grateful of everything that I am blessed with, because, you don't know what you have until you lost it. So it's like, if you're healthy and you're feeling good, the minute we get a cold, recently when I got sick, the minute you get a cold and a sore throat, you're like, fuck. Oh my God, I took advantage of just being healthy like a couple days ago. Now I feel like shit. And then when you get back, and it's like you get back to life, and you're just like, oh, whatever, fuck it. You know, or you break your leg, you're like, damn, man, I miss being able to run, or some shit like that. And it's like, well, when you were able to run, or, you know, you didn't do shit.
You weren't running.
So, you know, I know, you know, Kobe, R.I.P., like, who the hell would have thought, like, yo, I'm gonna get on this helicopter, I'm a multi-millionaire, and I'm gonna die today, you know, off some crazy shit. You know, you're not thinking that. You know, you just gotta be able to, I don't know, dude, just, no one knows when their time is coming.
I mean, the way I see it is just live your life on your own terms. You know, what sucks about Kobe, and I'll keep referencing him because, you know, we're on the topic. And, you know, he was, excuse me, he was taking his daughter from the game back home.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, it was from his gym. He had practice or something that morning. No, because he's retired. It was like something where he was like cutting time to cut out traffic, so he would take the helicopter. So like to him, it was just a normal day. It's like to us, like if we just get up and like I said, you're like, oh, want to get something to eat after this, and we just go to let's go to Checkers or whatever. Like we can just come across somebody just T-bone us and we're done. You know what I mean? Like that's the crazy part about just life and death. It's like we really don't know when this is gonna end. You know what I mean? Like we prep so much for everything, the future and this, and don't get me wrong, it's good to have like, you know, goals and plans and ideas and blah 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 like we talked about before, but like you said, at the end of the day, it's gratitude. Look, I don't know what it is. The older I get, the softer I'm getting. Softer in the sense of like, not soft like I'm out, like somebody's gonna just come up and slap me.
Like give me a sneak peek.
Yeah, like no, but it's just appreciating life, man. Like I literally every single night, and we talked about this. I'm not religious. I believe in God. I'm not religious. I just believe like, yo, there's a reason why I'm still here. There's a reason for
you're spiritual. You're just not affiliated.
Yeah, like spiritually, I'm not affiliated. Like I'm not gonna be in church every Sunday and all this stuff. Like that's not my thing. But I feel like there's a reason why I'm here, right? So it's like you said, going back to being grateful. It's just gratitude, right? Like the fact that we can still walk. You know how many people I know? There's a guy that I follow on Instagram. His name is called Sam Runs, right? It's a kid from Los Angeles. I forgot what he has. I can't even pronounce it right now, honestly. But he's basically like, he's handicapped. Like he doesn't have access to, and this kid, I'm telling you, he's like 19 by now, 19 to 20. And this kid is stronger than people that I know that are just walking, running, talking, breathing, normal. And this kid is in the gym. He's going through therapy. He lives and breathes in a wheelchair, but his spirit is just so alive. So when I see things like that, I'm like, how can I not be grateful? I can't let work stress me out too much. I can't let problems stress me out too much, because at the end of the day, every day that I wake up, it's another opportunity to just kind of like take a step further to solve whatever it is you're going through. And at the end of the day, none of that shit matters, right? Like when we're gone, like none of the, and I have the conversations with my daughters now. Like I'm like, this house and everything that, you know, all the material things that I give you, like have nice sneakers, you know, be dressed presentable and all this stuff. Look at quality over quantity, like things like that. None of that shit matters when you're gone. You know what I mean? Like if I go tomorrow, all this stuff means nothing. I'm gonna be like, I'm gone. So all this stuff is for you guys, right? Yeah. But appreciate it, but also appreciate what you have. Like my daughters are in soccer right now, and I'm just like, I just love fucking going to their soccer games, yo. Like I'm that annoying ass soccer dad. I gotta tell you a funny story after this, but whatever.
Mad aggressive.
Mad aggressive, and I didn't have tequila that day. So you know, it's just life, man. Like life, like I said, the older I'm getting, the softer I'm getting. I'm telling people I love you a lot more. You know, not you because you're a sucker.
I'll break those barriers.
But like literally, man, like I grew up. So for example, right, like in a Hispanic household. I'm not gonna say Hispanic household. In my household, right, my father has never told me I love you. My mother, never. I don't know what it is with the generation, like our generation. You know, like I tell my daughters I love you at least 1,000 times a day. It's just like normal. It's part of my vocabulary, right? Because again, I'm just like.
Question: do you think that you do that with them because you never had it, or just because that's how you are?
I think we need to normalize it. That's why I do it.
But do you think that you never having your parents say I love you is what initiated that?
Oh no, no, I don't think. I mean, I don't think it affected me as much. I was just aware that I could have used that. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, I think I could have used the "I love you." Like I talk to my aunts now. You know, my aunts here, my aunts in Jersey, and like they're just so open to I love you. Any conversation, okay, papi, I love you. You know, it's like we should normalize that, especially as minorities, you know, like it's just so like third world and it's so awkward. I'll never forget this day, the first and only time my father told me he loved me. It was the most awkward shit ever.
So like
awkward shit ever. I was in a baseball game. I was actually in the field trip. It was like I was in 6th grade. I was in a field trip. The field trip was to a baseball field, like a baseball camp kind of thing for the day. So we're playing baseball, whatever. Boom. Fast forward. I was playing first base, foul ball. I wanted to be fucking the hero and catch the foul ball. Even though it was foul, I was like, yo, if I catch it, it's still an out, right? So me being extra like I was, I'm running to it. Boom, 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 running. I miscalculated the wall. Boom. Slam it to the wall, right? Knockout. I literally, I dropped for like 5 seconds. I was just kind of like lost consciousness kind of thing, whatever. So whatever, point blank is that day I got sent to the hospital, whatever, you know, they had to check me into the hospital. My pops came, my mom to pick me up. So we're there in the house watching Fresh Prince, and Fresh Prince, they always say, yo, I love you, Uncle Phil, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Will was always like, yo, I love you, Uncle Phil. And I looked at my dad, he was like writing a check or some shit, some old school shit. He had a checkbook back then. And I was like, yo, like, I was like, Bob, like, why you never say, like, I love you, right? I'm just a kid. I'm just asking what I seen, right? I didn't put mad pressure on him. Like, yo, why don't you tell me you love me? I was like, why you guys never say I love you? He was like, his answer was like, well, I mean, you know I do. And I'm like, I know, but I'm just saying, like, why didn't you ever say it? He was like, you want me to say it? And I was like, yeah.
Like, no.
No, he was just like, yo, the most awkward shit. He was like, with his checkbook, he was like, I was standing right there. He was like, I love you.
He's like, nigga, I love you.
He's like, I love you. It's the most awkward shit. And I was just like, okay. And I turned around and just kept watching Fresh Prince because I didn't know what that meant. But going back to your question, I do think that we just need to normalize it. Honestly, it could be. It doesn't even have to be a friend thing. It doesn't have to be a family thing. Like, we should genuinely just love people. We don't know what they're going through. I believe in that whole. I think I saw like I don't know, it was like a meme or something about. It said something about like it was a lady in an elevator. And it was like she was on her way to commit suicide or something like that. And then somebody just said, hi, how are you doing today? And like that stopped her. I don't know if that's like I don't know where I saw it.
No, I've heard of stories like that.
Yeah.
But like they just say something first, 20-something years later, you're still trash in baseball and softball. So
clearly, I don't get called by goons, I don't get called by you.
Yeah, because you obviously are still trash since day one. Two, there are instances like that in the sense like I've been to the store. I remember going when I lived in Atlanta. I went to the store with one of my cousins, and this lady would look miserable. The cashier, like she was like it was like a supermarket or whatever, like Publix, and she's like ringing the shit up, super miserable. And my cousin was just like, "How are you today?" Yo, the look on that lady's face was like as if she just won the lottery. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and she was just like, she like literally looked up, she was like, what? And my cousin was like, how are you? Like, how's your day going? And she was like, oh my God, thank you so much for asking me that. She's like, it's going good, thank you. She's like, I just, I'm kind of feeling weird today, but thank you so much for, I was like, all he did was ask her how you're doing. And like the way she was smiling after he asked her, like the transition from miserable to like the most happiest, I was like, oh, she was like, I love like your energy, like you just helped me out so much, you just made my day. And I'm just like, to me it just blew my mind, because it's just like, I try and keep my energy always high, so it's like I'm never, sometimes people say something like, damn, that actually made me feel good, but that is just, you never know, bro. You never know, opening the door for somebody, or just like, yo man, I like that shirt, or I like those pants. It's like, especially as men, which is what I want to go into as well, is like with the whole I love you thing, coming from maybe where we come from, where it's more of an aggressive, like thick skin type of culture, where it's like, oh, that dude's fresh, but I'm not letting that dude know he's fresh. He's like, fuck that, I'm not gonna be, dick riding him, or make him think that he's the man. It's like, when you come from that background, it's so hard to like that open up.
Soften up.
Or to be able to say, yo, I love you, bro, like, whatever. And even to this day, I know I still have problems with that, because like I know I have a lot of like affection and just like love in my heart for everyone, but it's always been kind of difficult for me to express it. Like I do it through action, in a sense of like I'm like the people that are around me, I make sure that that if anything were to go down, I don't care who, I don't give a fuck. Like I got your back no matter what. I've always been a protector since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just in my blood. It's in me. So it's like I make people feel like, yo, he's got my back no matter what.
Like you're
he's here
like,
for me.
you make them feel like you know that you're gonna be loved without them telling you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's because it's always been hard for me.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
you
like,
start right now. Just tell me.
No, you gotta tell me.
Like just practice on me. It's cool. Like, I want to.
Yeah, I love you, and like break your neck. But it's like that, you know. And like I said, it's always been hard for me to say, but you made me forget. No, you made me forget. You made me forget. But as a man, it's like I've been trying, you know, more and more as I get older. Like you said, as I get older, I'm like softening up. Like, okay, you know what I mean? I'll let someone, like, I'll just go like, oh, I like that shit. That shit looks fresh or whatever. And I'm more social about it. You know what I mean? I've always used my loyalty as the driver for people to know that I care about them and showing them, you know, just being there for them no matter what and whatever. But as a man, I think that is a big thing about them. I love you. Like, obviously I have aunts que son, oh, you know, te quiero mucho, I love you, you know, my nephew, whatever. My mom is super, super affectionate. Pero it's, I don't know, man. I think it has to do a lot with like masculine energy, like what society thinks that masculine energy should be. It's like, nah, you gotta be kind of like the hard, you know, the shell. Like, okay, you can't be too soft because if you are, then you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
And some shit might happen and break you.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like it's up to us to change that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
no, for sure.
It's our time now. Like the way I see it, like I said, I'm at the point where, I mean, my daughter, literally, I can just go to the grocery store, like, oh, I'll be back, come out the door, I love you. Like, it's like just part of my vocabulary, but I'm also trying to incorporate that, like I said, with everybody minus you. Just like, yo, like, I love you, bro. Like, I just talked to my boy, you know, you know, it's one of those things, like, every time I go, you know, back to New York, it's like, every time my boy hits me, I'm like, yo, let me know when you touch down, bro, love you, bro. Like, it's just like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, let's normalize that, because you know what, at the end of the day, it's not, I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, we're at that age, we're in our 30s, you know, like, from here moving forward, it's really just about, like, what are we going to do so our, you know, our kids take over our generation of what we kind of established, right? So
but not also for the kids, for us to be breaking these generational, this generational
curses. They're generational curses. Honestly, like, I never understood it. I never understood the masculinity of my uncles and my father, like never being like, I love you. I feel like that shit is just stupid. Like, what is words? Like,
but it's it's also what they were. It's like you can blame them, but then you can't. Yeah. Because it's like that's all they've ever known. So it's like, and they're at a certain age where it's like they're not gonna change now. You know what I mean? Some people do. You know, my father's mother was very, very rough, like super, super mean until her late 70s. And I remember like just going there once out of nowhere, and she lives in Dominican Republic, and her just being like, "Ay, like mi nieto bello, yo te quiero muchísimo," and I was like gave me a hug and a kiss, and I'm like, yo, hold on, she tweaking right now. Yeah. And you know, she's older, you know what I mean? So it took her all these years, and now when I talk to her, she's so like loving and nice, but she was always just mad dry. It wasn't that she was like mean, like she talked to us like shit, she was just super dry. Yeah. Some people maybe, you know, it takes them that long, but then for the most part, people in their 50s and 60s, they're not gonna change, bro.
Honestly, it could also be like we talked about before about the whole relationship thing. It could also just be an event. You know, where it just hits you.
I was gonna say that too. So it may happen like where some tragic shit happens, and they're like, you know what, I need to stop this shit now. Yeah. You know, and for us, thankfully, nothing tragic really has happened. Like, you know, I've had people die around me and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, like, I didn't really talk to that person as much as I wanted to, or like express myself to that person as much as I wanted to. And, you know, and that's why, you know, we're talking about death today with like Kobe. It's like, I don't know, man. I have a very weird thing with death. Like, I don't know. Like,
how you feel? Yeah. Okay. Man. Yeah.
Like, are you afraid of death? Like, are you afraid of dying?
Not at all. I just hope that if I die, it's not like no slow. It's not something tragic. Like, I don't want to die because I was in my car and I ran off a cliff and I landed in a lake and I drowned. Like, or I caught a fire in my house. That's like one of my biggest fucking fears. If I just, like I said, if I just wake up one day and I just, you know, I don't know, man, I have a heart attack or something, it's like, fuck, you know?
But like, no, it's not really, I'm not really saying like the action of dying, like what happens to you, like death itself, like, do you fear death?
No.
I don't know
how can I feel? How can I? All right, this is my thing, right? How can I fear?
It's the unknown for me. Like, I just.
It's the unknown. The fact that you rolled your eyes and
yeah, that's what bothers me. Like, the unknown is just. I can't wrap my head around that shit. I really can't wrap my head around it.
But what do you think? What do you think will happen? Like, what do you think will happen?
I already have my own perspective, and
which is.
I feel like we may have talked about it before, but
yeah, but it didn't make it to the tapes.
It didn't make it to the cut.
It was one of the first cuts.
So, yeah, actually it was. But, you know, if, I know you know, but if you guys are listening, you know, ever, you know who KRS-One is, I kind of got this philosophy from him because it just resonated with me more. And it was that, you know, when you close your eyes or you're just thinking of something in your head, you're not speaking, you're just thinking it. So if I'm saying like microphone on the inside, like how do you hear that? How do you hear your thought? How can you hear the sound? If I say it in an accent, how do I know it's in an accent? Like how do your thoughts, like you can hear it when there's no sound. What is that? And he talks about that being like the fifth dimension, and that is what's in and out. That's the last dimension that, you know, we haven't figured out yet. And he says like that is what life, like the afterlife is. That is what God is the fifth dimension. So I just feel like when we pass away, like we're just left with our consciousness, and it's just that is our spirit. That's just there. Granted, I don't fucking know. Nobody knows.
Yeah, we'll never know. Once we find out, we can't come back and talk to anybody about it because that's it.
Or like reincarnation. Who knows if I end up turning into a pelican or some shit? I don't know, dude. Like it's just the uncertainty of it is what drives me crazy because I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is there. And it's like also with like my family, like I wouldn't want to ever be. I'm just plain and simple, full disclaimer, like I am really, really bad at goodbyes. It can be the most stupid shit. I'm just not good at goodbyes. I just don't like them.
Goodbyes in what sense?
In any way, shape, or form. Like, I was just in Mexico with my boys, and just leaving the airport. It wasn't that I got emotional. I just don't like saying goodbye to people. Like, I'm just like, all right, yo, like, I'll see y'all later. And it's like, inside of me, I'm like weird about it. Like, all right, yo, like, I'm like that dude that will dap you up 5 times. Like, you know what I mean? I've always been like that, and I don't know why.
I think it's just because, you know, I feel like when you have a connection with somebody, whether it's friend, family, woman, whatever it is, like you're the type to be so loyal and so protective and so like, if you're about me, I'm about you, 1,000%, that you take that into your kind of like your actions with that person. So maybe that might tie into why you're like a little weird about goodbyes. So you're like, damn, like I'm really gonna miss this person. You know, I really enjoy what we just did. I really enjoyed this trip or whatever it was. I don't want it to end. Like. Yeah. You know, so I think that's kind of like the kind of, you know, the feel that I'm getting from that.
And it's funny because I've always had a problem with that, with the loyalty, because I am the kind of person like if I'm so loyal to people that if I don't get it back the same amount, I'm gonna say something. And it's just like I take that shit super serious, and it's not good because everyone's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but me personally, I feel, yo, if I'm giving you all of my loyalty, I'm giving you, like, you know for a fact that whatever the fuck you need, I'm there. If I ever feel like you're not doing that same shit for me, I take that shit OD to heart. And I know it's not good, but it's just who I am. And I'm trying to kind of just like, all right, yeah, whatever, that's fine, it's cool.
I mean, I feel like we can go a full episode on that. Like I told you, my boy's coming from New York for my birthday.
We can talk about that with him,
and we could definitely talk to him about it because he's definitely one person that loyalty is what attracted us to have this friendship. But I hear you 1,000%. I hear you 1,000% on that because I'm in the exact same way, and my fiance tells me this all the time. Like I take that shit way too hard, but it's just because I'm just so grateful for where I'm at, where I've come from, like where I'm at, like, and it's just like when I try to help people. I genuinely try to help people. Like there's been times, look, for example, you know I'm a realtor. There's been times that people reach out to me and I'll help them probably knowing that they're not even giving me the business. Yeah. Because it's just like, yo, like, all right, I feel a certain way towards you, right? And I know I'm good in my life, mentally, emotionally, like I'm good in my life, right? So like if I can really help you, like dog, I'll help you. You know what I mean? And I don't expect anything back, right? But if for whatever reason I ever hit you up or something like, no me meta cuerno, like I'm just, and it sucks when you don't get it back in return.
Yeah.
You know, kind of to not go off topic because again, I want to go into like friendships and loyalties and all that stuff, and I think that deserves a whole nother episode.
Oh no, for sure. I can go for days. But question.
Yeah.
Where were you when you found out about Kobe? Going back to him.
It was a Sunday afternoon. Over here.
75 degrees.
It's actually about 83. Party cloudy. No, but it was about a Sunday afternoon, and I was in a Verizon store. I was getting a new phone in the beach. And the guy was like looking at my phone or whatever, or he was opening up the new phone, installing it, whatever, and he was like, Kobe just died. And I looked at him like he was stupid. First of all, why would you say some type of shit like this on the Lord's Day?
It's not funny.
It's a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. And it's 12 o'clock. I'm like, you're making me late for brunch. Hurry up and turn this phone. And then the other girl comes in, and she was working there also. She was like, oh my God, Kobe Bryant just died. And I was like, what the fuck you mean? And bro, like, literally, like, it was just chills. And the thing about Kobe, and just going back to the whole death thing, Kobe dedicated to the game for 20 some years, right? Like, he knew, like, I have to be this type of person. I have to accomplish this and this and that. And when I'm ready, like, my all's gonna go to my family. He was a coach. He was an investor. He was a businessman. He gave back. Like, this dude was a genuinely good dude. Like, he did his time. He did his sacrifices straight from high school, to the league. Proved whatever he wanted to prove. Worked on getting better and better and better every day. And then it's like, when you're actually ready to enjoy your life with your wife and your kids and just like take a break, man, because he's Mamba mentality. If you ever seen like a clip of what Mamba mentality means, it's just about getting better, 1% better every single day at what you do. And having a long-term goal that whatever it is that you're gonna do, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take years and years and years, but you're constantly building and getting better, right? So I've never felt a certain type of way about death. I'm that weird guy. I'm not gonna say that weird guy, but when I see death, and I've had this conversation with you, with my fiance, like, because I don't think I haven't lost anybody close to me. The last person that I lost personally was my grandfather when I was like 13. I'm 33. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, you're highly blessed, brother.
So but I've been to, man, you know how many funerals I've been to this year? We just started 2021.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's a lot different when it hits close to home.
Which I get. But I'm that guy that I'm at a viewing and I'm just like, literally like just no emotion, because again I think it's whatever. Just but going back to Kobe, I was like, this shit's not right. Out of everything, a helicopter, like this thing was 42 years old. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at an icon, it's like, it's not even about that he's a celebrity and all that. Look, what kind of person was he? What kind of impact did he have on you? Yes, we know he was a great basketball player. Yes, we know he was over the Lakers, right? We all know this. But when you sit down and look at like his life overall, here's conversations like that he does. Like, this guy was a genuine dude. So I think about that. Like, I don't know if you believe it or not, but that whole saying like the good guys die young. I believe in that shit.
I hope not, because I think I'm a pretty good dude.
And that's the problem. So it's like, think about this, right? We got to a certain age or a certain mindset that we wanted to start developing ourselves to be better people, right? Individuals. Not better partners, better individuals, better friends, better family members, like better cousin, better, whatever it is, right? So imagine you're like, literally, you wake up every morning, your goal, your mission is to get better, right? Just get better. What can I do to be better? Like, I stopped sweating money a long time ago, and I noticed that when I stopped sweating money, I started making a lot more money. Like I literally just stopped giving a fuck about money. I was like, if I could make, but back then I was like, if I could make this much, I'll do this and I'll do that. And once I got there, I was like, okay, next. But I was like, if I can just be this person, if I can just be this better for my daughters, this better for myself, this better for work, this better for my fiance, this better as a friend, like, so it's like, imagine trying so hard and then that's it, like you're just gone.
I think that's what's my problem is with death is like me not getting to the point of
greatness.
Is it my full potential and just dying midway, and it's like, bro, I sacrificed all this shit to not get to the end.
But it was part of the plan.
Yeah.
That's what we have to live with, right? It's like there's beauty in life, right? There's beauty in life. There's beauty in us sitting here talking about life. But you know what life is? Unpredictable.
Yeah.
You can be gone the minute, like you said, the minute you walk out of here, you can be gone, right? You can whatever. I'm not gonna even say it because I don't want to jinx it, right?
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate, man, and I think that honestly, like we just one of the main reasons why, again, I think we decided on the podcast and everything too is like I want us to kind of like live on after this in some way, shape, or form. You know, people can always see our Instagram posts. People can always remember the memories that we had. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, what impact did you have on people? That's how people really feel you when you're gone. Dude just died 2 days ago. What's this guy's name? The guy that was a broadcast, not a broadcaster. What's this guy's name? Larry King. Larry King, right? Was it Larry King?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Larry King.
Really old one. Yeah.
He just died, and he was on a Breakfast Club interview 5 years ago, and he was like, and Charlamagne was like, "How do you want to be remembered?" Or something like that. He was like, I just hope that I'm remembered even after I'm dead. He was like, I want to be frozen. He's like, because if they come up with a cure for whatever I die for, I want to come back to life. Mm-hmm. But it's like so true. And that dude was 85. Listen, if I can make it to 80, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? I'll see my daughters grow up, but if they have kids, I'll be a grandfather and blah blah blah. But if I don't make it, like, what am I gonna do? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of my take on it. Unfortunately, like I said, not only Kobe, man, his daughter was 14. Mm-hmm. That shit, and I think that's why it hit me because
you have a daughter.
My daughters were 14 last year. So I was like, what if I was Kobe? Yeah. Not in a helicopter, porque yo no tengo cuarto, pero like, what if that was the same scenario, but I was just on a plane up to New York, on a plane up to freaking Mexico, wherever the hell, right? And it's just like an accident happens. That's it. That's just it. Like, now I can't even worry because I'm no longer here. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think that we gotta stop worrying about so much shit, so much uncontrollables. Yeah. Right? It's really uncontrollable. It's
a lot easier said than done.
I get it.
And it's something that you have to work towards. Because I've always been very high anxiety my entire life. Up until I moved to Atlanta is when it started to kind of like gradually go down, because I literally told myself, I'm like, bro, I'm going to literally have a fucking heart attack when I'm like 30. Because if I continue down this road, it's not going to end well. So I remember New Year's Day when I lived in Atlanta, when I first moved there, I think it was like 2018 or something like that. I told myself, I'm like, enough with the shit. Like, just whatever's stressing you out, yo, it's meant to be, just go with it. You know what I mean? But, I mean, as far as like the Kobe thing, truthfully, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be a fraud, but I was never a fan of Kobe. I've always been more on the Jordan side. You know, Kobe's kind of like personality on this, you know, whatever, never really sit well with me. You know, until afterwards, I saw like a lot of the interviews and shit like that. I'm like, he wasn't that bad of a dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think it was the daughter that kind of like affected me. I was like, damn, man. And she's like, you know, all her pictures, like her smile and everything like that. And I was just like, damn. But it didn't feel real. And I don't remember what the hell it was, but I remember when I found out, I was like, Kobe Bryant is down. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if it's like somebody else, like where an actor dies, I'm just like, oh, damn, that sucks. But like him, it was just like,
it was weird.
I was like, is this like a TMZ hoax type thing? Or
that's
like,
the first thing I thought about too.
What the fuck is like, what is going on? And then obviously the media had that bullshit ass video that went viral, like the helicopter.
Yeah, the helicopter. Yeah, that was.
So then I think that was what affected me the most, was that, like I think I've told you before, like when people die tragically, like I always think about what was that person's thoughts, like what were they thinking before they died. And I think that was when I was like, damn. Like, yo, he died like that.
Can you imagine, like, you know, and I agree with you with that. I think when I saw the actual picture of what was left of the helicopter, I thought my natural instinct as a father, if I was in that same position, as soon as I hear beep, because you know the first thing is beep, 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 right? And the shit's spinning, the first thing to do, even if I'm going down, is to grab my daughter, right? Mm-hmm. So can you imagine that the first thing that he did while still being alive is grab his daughter? What the fuck do you think was going through his head? Because it's just like, you're thinking one moment and the next you're just not. Like, it's just like, that's it. You're thinking one moment, the next moment, you're just not here. How do you, how can you even stomach that?
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was wild.
Tragedies, look, man, tragedies are, again, fortunate enough, I haven't lost anyone. It's been a hell of a year with COVID and just things in general. I lost an old co-worker 3 weeks ago, before he left on your trip. He committed suicide. Nobody knows why. I've lost, my fiance's lost, I don't know how many members already due to COVID. I actually have another viewing Thursday. Today's Tuesday. My daughter's lost her great-grandmother last week. She was 98 from COVID. Like, it's just like, dude, life and death is just so, it's just so unpredictable. Like, we take life for granted, and you know, and honestly, like, I not that I'm gonna become a minimalist, and we've talked about this, but it's just like, when I sit and think about things, sneakers and jewelry and this and a car, and none of that shit matters. We want it, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, and it's crazy because essentially, you know, we ain't shit, you know, we're nowhere near being wealthy, you know what I mean, like what true wealth is, you know, financial wealth, not anything else. I'm just talking about financial wealth. But when you get to the point of like abundance in the sense of gratitude for everything, then it's like that all that other shit is, I'm the kind of person, I ain't shit. I just got my new car recently. I mean, you know, but nobody else knows that. But,
wait, you got another car?
No, my car.
Okay.
So it's like, when I got it, I was like, damn, I got my new whip, like I'm chilling, year, you know, the up to date, blah, blah, blah. Bro, that shit lasts. I mean, now to this day, I'm like, I have a nice car. You know what I mean? I like my car. To me, it's a nice car. It ain't a Lamborghini, it ain't whatever, but to me, it's a nice car. Because I've just always appreciated anything, big or small. Like, I am grateful for it because I have lived on both spectrums of this fucking financial world. I've been fucking really, really broke, and I've been times where I had a lot of money. So I know what it's like to have, and I know what it's like to have not. I know both, and both extreme. You know what I mean? Really bad and really, really good. So when I first got my car, I was fucking buffing it up, getting the expensive car washes. Now I'm like, fuck it, man. I'll get the cheap one. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. But it's like, we all think like, all right, money's gonna get me this. Money's gonna make me. Obviously, 100%, I'm after the money myself. Because I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit like, oh, money doesn't mean anything. Nah, money can save a lot of my problems, and I know I can do a lot of good with money. That is my biggest thing. Like, I know when I get that money, I am going to give back. I know I can create programs. I know I can build schools. Like, there's so many ideas that I have that I know I'm not just going to be this dude living in the house balling out, just being a cornball. Like, I know like the great I can do. Huh? So yeah, it's like, bro, like, you have, like...
we get it, you got money, but, like, what are you really doing?
What have you done? And maybe he has done shit. I don't fucking know. Yeah. Maybe he has, maybe he does, you know, whatever. But it's like, yo, you have, like, $1 million watches. You know how many hungry people you can feed? Like, how many, like, boxing programs that you can start for kids that don't have money to be, you know, to go train? You know, you give that $1 million to a bunch of boxing trainers and start a little gym there, whatever. Who the fuck knows? But it's just like, you get to the point where when you're so focused on abundance and just being grateful for everything, it's like all that, like you said, when you stop worrying about money, man, that shit just, you know, not saying that you're not worried, like you're not hustling for it, but it's not, you're not like sitting there like, I gotta get this money, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you're being so whatever, like you're giving negative energy to it. But when you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna be good, I know I'm gonna be good, I'm just gonna keep working, I'm gonna be fine, everything's gonna work out. That, for me in the same way, that's when I start seeing like opportunities coming, boom. Or this person wanted to buy this or whatever, like off my merch or something, or just a fluctuation of orders would just come in. I'm like, holy shit, where the hell did this come from?
Universe.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I realize when I'm too crazy about it, it's like, ain't shit coming to me. But the minute I just open it up, like, yo, I have the faith, shit's gonna come, man. And it's gonna be good. And it's just...
Not only that, like when you kind of like try to not stress things, you can think with a clearer mind.
Yeah.
And that's, trust me, I'm still working on that challenge. That's still a challenge for me, you know. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I've mastered everything. Like I still have anxiety.
Nobody's perfect, bro.
Nobody's perfect, and you know, my reasons are different. I hold myself to a certain account, you know, to a certain standard, where it's like, but sometimes I gotta check myself. Like you said, I'm like, yo, like look how far I've come.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, yo, like you said, we're far from We're far from Diddy. Like, you know, like we're not gonna. Honestly, we'll probably never make that type of money. But I don't. As the older I'm getting, it's really not about the money. And there's gonna be another episode on money, just finances and all that stuff. Because trust me that, yo, Powerball. You weren't here last week. The Powerball got to $997 million. It almost got to $1 billion. And somebody in Michigan won that shit. And I told them, I was like, you could take your tax money up front, which is probably gonna be half. And I guarantee you that I still won't even spend all that money, even if I fucking try. That's how I know that money's not everything. You know, it's more, like you said, it's about life, like gratitude, like what do you give back? If I didn't have to worry about money, I'll probably be a teacher, or like a coach, or soccer coach. I've been dying to take over myself. I'll save that story for next time. I forgot to tell you, but I'll definitely bring that up next time.
Sure about that?
Yeah. We don't got the type of time, my brother. We don't got the type of time. But yeah, man. I mean, honestly, we just wanted to kind of pay tribute our second episode to Kobe and just things that we take for granted, things that we stress. You know, if you're listening to this, just take it from, you know, two guys, good vibes. Mm-hmm. My perspective on life. I'm 33 years old. I have twin daughters that are 15. Like you said, I've been with $2 in my pocket, and I've been with whatever amount in my pocket. And both times, I noticed a lot of shit means nothing. Yeah. Health, wealth, you're walking, you're seeing, you're able to taste. You know, people lost taste with this COVID thing. Like, these are things that we take for granted. So if you listen
simple shit that can mean so much, dude.
Just literally take a step back, fucking just take a deep breath in. Whatever you're going through, just know that you can get through it. If you ever need somebody to talk to, reach out, man. We have our email, we have whatever. Like I said, I lost somebody that I worked with for 7 years, man, due to suicide. Like, it's just like life is so unpredictable. You know, just cherish every moment, cherish the things that we do have. You know, even if you have $2 to your pocket, guess what? You're still able to wake up that morning with your legs and your arms and your eyes, and you can get up and find a way to make whatever money you need to make, right? So I'll leave you guys with that, and whatever you want to leave us off with to wrap up our second episode.
No, man, just going off of that, like I said, it may sound morbid, you know, it may kind of be weird, you know, or maybe it's not weird, maybe other people feel that way, and I'm not as, you know, or we're not as weird as we think we are, but, you know, the minute that you realize, you know, you become grateful for everything like that, it's like, you know, it can be so much worse, and there's people out there that would die to, like, literally, like, do the worst shit to get what, in a fraction of what you have. You know, and me living in Dominican Republic really helped me elevate to that mindset, because I'm like, these people this is real poverty, and I'm sitting here bitching because I didn't get the new PlayStation or some shit. Bro, I can literally go outside and my leg get fucking chopped off or something, and I'm like, now I have to live like this for the rest of my life. You know, but the people that are living like that are making do, like you said, home dude in the wheelchair. He's making do with what he has, you know what I mean? And a lot of those people are just happy to be alive. Like, yo, I'm happy I'm alive. I'm happy I don't have my legs, but I'm happy I still can use my arms, you know what I mean? And whatever, it's just like, it's all about perspective, man. It's all about the way you see your situation. And the minute that you change the perspective, you know, to an abundance or just gratitude, man, all that negative shit just fades out, and it's just like, you'll be fine. You'll be good shit.
Good things will happen to you, man. Good things will come to you.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I'm gonna end off on that.
Yeah, man. We'll end it off on that note, nice and quick. I mean, like I said, it's just, you know, today's one of those days that I'm glad that we connected today, because there was a lot, you know, that came up, and, you know, I think it's just a good time. It's always a good time to talk about blessings.
Yeah, real
so we'll end it with that.
Cheers, my guy.
Cheers. Love you, my bro.
I love you too, my G. I'll go ahead and leave it on that note.
I forgot all about that. I was going to say that offline, but...
Nah, put that shit online.
Yeah, I got you, bro. And after this drink, I'm not drinking for a long time.
See you guys.
Mexico killed my liver. Alright, guys. We hope you liked it. Second episode. Prolific podcast. Not thoughts. And we'll see you guys next time.